true. You never know what you'll do until a situation is facing you. And then you feel that ancestral flow, that kind of a warm little glow inside that tells you already know what the situation is and how to deal with this biz, kid. Hey, I tell you, don't flip your lid. Just get it on. Be trucking, man. Knowing the Grateful Dead are always there leading you along, singing their song. Hey, you never know what you're going to get. And this little radio mix we call the Hazy Radio Network and the Spring Creek Radio Show featuring your old Grandpa Coyote, don't you know, along with the lights of the Grateful Dead. Oh, good old Jerry Garcia, man. I think he's gratefully alive, even when he's still the Gratefully Dead, you see. Our ancestors never pass away, our brothers and sisters either. They just seem to, die away. I mean, I came pretty close not that long ago, again. I'm just trying to help you feel sorry for me, so you'll send a donation to me over there at thecoyoteclub.com. K's all the way, man. Coyote and Club, both with a K. And got to have the THE on the front of it, too, because I'm too cheap to pay for more than one domain, okay? Well, when you live on love and not much else, well, you got everything you need, babies, and you don't worry about it. You just deal with it as the flow goes. So do you, okay? Ooh, I got a good friend that's taking an adventure and has made the first moves of it today. She lives up there in Mount Shasta way. I won't name a name, okay? Ooh, but let's just say she's been around the pike for a day or two, and she's still a trucking, just like the Grateful Dead do, man, I'll tell you. And there we are, man. She's going to get in her little car, and then she's going to become a rock star of this reality. She's cutting herself free, no more home territory. She's going to meander around for a while and see where the medicine show takes her in the flow of life. The stream of love, man. She's got a lot of love to share. I think she's got the beginnings of something there. We might just join in with that little gal when she finally gets it over this way, because I think we got something, because a lot of people being moved that way, I think it's time to get in the flow, to let go of the medicine of the old life and get on with the medicine of the new, which is what we're creating right here, right now, with you. Because we're all the same being, man. At the same time, doing the same things, each in our own unique and unsevered way, man. There's no way we could be just one person today. But unless you see it as one person in all life, in the thought stream of life that creates the life we're living in, You got to think about this. When you're trucking along, singing your song, and it's all glorious and good, what are you doing in this neighborhood but experiencing this thing we call time, which creates this other thing we call distance, which moves things away from us and makes us feel isolated. But in that isolation, that aloneness, at first it feels strange. When you start to realize it in that human sort of way, when you're sunk into the flesh and think you're stuck with it, And it's just you because everybody else around you being cruel, right? And picking on you when you're just a little tiny little child. You go, man, why is it so well? What do I do? I'm just an innocent kid, don't you know? And they say, no, we don't know. We just got to take it out on you, kid, because you are innocent. And we lost ours so long ago. Now we're going to take it out of you. You'll never get it back that way now, will you, baby? No. But that's where the torture and torment comes from, these sub-psychological suggestions going on in our head that oftentimes we don't even know we're being jealous of that innocent little child grown so wild. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? And then you pick on them unnecessarily because you feel this mild irritation inside because you're not that way. You feel conflict with that innocence, eh? And you think we don't know what medicine makes you move, your rock and your roll, your heart and your soul. Of course we do, man. We all go through the same things, each in our own way, of course. But that doesn't mean we're an isolated person. That's just the effect of time and distance, which is the same thing, really, because only in time can you experience this distance, this aloneness, this severed nature where you feel like you're surrounded by darkness and a few glowing lights, man, you know. Stars all around you, baby. See now, what do you go to the darkness for? So you can see the light. So you can be the love of that light and bring the darkness out with you, because that's the illusion. See, we thought we divided into male and female, light and dark a long time ago. Well, you know, the light side's more on the female side, but oh well. Anyway, we thought we divided into that, but guess what? After all of our shenanigans of trying to put it back together in that old-fashioned way, we've come up with a whole new way to play, and that's bringing it together inside of ourselves right here, right now, today. That's a Spring Crick moment. That's getting it on with your own heart song, living in your own vibration, and realizing that's a little and very significant part of the dynamic harmony of the orchestra of life playing its thing, babies. Ooh, and it comes out of this spring right at the headwaters of life, Spring Crick. Where that cool, clear drink of water comes up, bubbling up out of the ground, and there is life to be found there. And one little taste of that refreshing water, and guess what? You're doing what you oughta. It just changes your whole scene, man, changes your whole being, corrects all the misnomers inside, all that we've taken in this time ride. So it's like you're living while dying and dying while you're living, okay? It's called trucking. It's rock and roll. It's the medicine of life, and it's good for your heart and soul to have been where you've been and done what you've done and been victimized in that way, because now you know how it feels, eh? To be isolated, alone. But what is the lesson of aloneness? That we're not alone at all. As we stay in that alone place, little by little, it just trickles on in, and we realize we are not only a part, a little tiny part of creation, a little molecule in life, but we're also the gigantic nature of the creation around us. We're all of that too. It lives inside and it lives outside. It's a simultaneous thing. Only in time can you experience division, separation such as this. So you feel as if you are separated from the divine aspects of life and have to deal with it in a whole different way, because now there's time and distance, which creates need, emptiness, hungers, fears, lusts, desires, you know, all kinds of crap, man, you know. Well, guess what? In feeling all that, we're learning how to feel and what truly is feeling is. And we're giving our feelings an anchor in life, right there at the headwaters of life. We're anchored in the love of that flowing stream of life, that water of life that is our love in motion. We're 80% water. Think about that. If you got to have mathematics. But guess what? Mathematics only exist in time. Again, when there's distance, then there's the creation of the need for mathematics, a measurement of time. How can you measure time? How can you measure life? Well, the sun comes up, the sun goes down. That's a day. And then it's a night while the sun goes around the other side of the earth and then comes back out on the daylight side, right? That's time, right? But that's distance. That's being separated from your own light, but being reminded of it every time the sun rises and sets. Isn't it funny how they prohibit medicines in this life? Medicines that might help you heal your heart and soul, just because some people abuse them in a chemical sort of way and all of that stuff. Well, babies, don't make any sense at all. Okay, we got to be reasonable about things. We got to step back and take a look at this whole life and see what we're doing to ourselves and other human beings, you know. Because we've been too isolated, too alone, almost as if you're the only person that matters or counts and everybody else is secondary. So whatever happens in your pursuit of happiness, it doesn't matter because the other folks can't get in your way. You just walk on them if they do. You know what I mean? No way, babies, you ain't that type. You've run into plenty of them, though, haven't you? But see, notice how that's changing and shifting in this reality. The younger generation, man, you know, that I don't know if that's Generation X, I don't know, that's not that. Millennials, that's what they call it. But the younger generation, you know, is like got it on, man. And they're not taking that old song no more. They know it's out of tune and it just don't fit. So they're telling the corporations, well, if you want our expertise, and our good efforts and labors, you're going to have to treat us a little more fairly than all that, because we're not taking your bureaucratic BS. And babies, ooh, then you can take a rest. These kids, they're going to, oh, don't worry about it. Just do what you can. Excuse me. Had to take a little wet your tonsils kind of thing, talking about that Spring Crick made me dry, man. So just do whatever you can to encourage them along, man. 'Cause some of them have real problems with insecurity and self-doubt and so forth. Well, you know, you got to prove to yourself. And in those ages, it's, you know how the wild emotions are and everything. You get pulled every which way, man. So that's why a lot of them don't live to tell about it. That's one of the most extreme tests in the whole universe as we know it, is to be in time and be a teenager here. It don't matter if you're in a tribe in Africa or South America or up here in northern climes, man, having to put up with the square-headed BS. You know, it's all the same old nonsense when you're a teenager. And then we add the liquidity of our machines, the fluidity of that, and driving fast in time. Only in time can you experience that kind of thrill of speed and sound and fury and stuff like that. Yeah, that's why we do it. But if we live to tell about it, we're one of the lucky ones. That means we passed the test some way, somehow. So at least you can pat your back for giving it your best through your teenage years. And I think you kind of know what I mean. I mean, some people have it way too easy. They don't even get tested there. They've already done it so many times. It's like breathing. It just comes natural. They just flow right through it and become a natural zombie, and that's all there is to it. You thought it was going the other way, didn't you? Well, it does that too once in a while. We get those exceptional beings that come along and show the rest of us the way, even though we don't want to do it, okay? That's why we try to get them out of the way. Don't be telling us how, man. That's not the way. We don't want to play that way. We want, our way, whatever that is. Well, our way is their way is our way. See past lines and boundaries and borders and economics even. See past the need for money, Get to where we already realize that we're in service to one another all the freaking time anyway. Because you go get a job, you're in service. You are one of the unemployed and living on the streets. You're taking it for those that can't take it. Or you're setting the example, showing them the way. Because sometimes you got to go down if you really want to come around. And you guys know what I say. You got it clear, dear, because you live right there at Spring Creek. You know the headwaters of life. You had your moment of truth. And maybe you went the other way with it. Okay, it's still there. It's still you. And it's still true. See, you can't drink it away, you can't smoke it away, you can't even shoot it up your arm and feel okay anymore. It won't work, baby. It's over. It's done. It's through. This journey in time, well, it was cool, but, we were the fool to fall for it, weren't we now? But guess what? In our division, what have we found? Solidarity with life. We're coming back. We're starting to feel it, dear. We're coming out of that numb, zombie-like state where we couldn't intentionally be programmed by others that had less sense of our value, or had a sense of our value, one or the other, but either way wanted to derail you, okay? Get you off in some stupid little profession that you really aren't any good at anyway, but you did it because that was your obligation to do, right? And it paid you plenty of money, so you're okay with all that, right? Nah, you just got used to it. You're still a little upset and depressed because you couldn't fight it, aren't you? Well, send me some money today and you'll be feeling better tomorrow, okay? I'm just kidding around, clown. Don't take it that way. I'm just showing you where your heart really is. It's in that pocketbook, isn't it, see? And that's, the way of the 3D. That's the way of time, to put value on things, make others pay. If you want to play, you got to pay, etc. And then that translates out into all of life until just about everything, even acts of love or commercial transactions, are referred to as such in legal terminologies. It's amazing how that works, man. How this truth surrounds us, but when we see it, it does astound us because it's been there all the time, right there in our face, but we just couldn't see it. We were blinded by the light, by the love of our heart that wanted to live in the dark and needed to know, well, really it wasn't that dark now, was it? I mean, you got through it. You got this far with it. That means you took it lightly, okay? And here today, right now, like I posted over on my FB page there just this morning, I got to get it up here again. It's such a cute little thing. When you know you're an infinite, radiant, powerful being made of light and star stuff, and petty shit don't bother you no more, that's when you're there. That's when you've evened the scope. And this got a picture of a cute little lamb wearing heart-shaped sunglasses with rainbow reflectorators, all surrounded by mystical energy and sucking on a soda straw out of a styrofoam cup, okay? See, even then it's all right. Because that ain't really styrofoam, kids. It's a product of our imagination. So anytime we want it to go away, it will. And that's okay. We don't pollute anymore, all right? See, in other words, we're changing our mode of flight, our whole direction of life. And it starts in a tiny little trickle, just like the stream of life does, here at the headwaters of life, Spring Creek, only and exclusively on your ever-clear, hazy radio network, dear. With your host, Grandpa Coyote, the wildest old Grandpa Coyote you ever run into. Because, man, I get it clear every now and then, dear. How, wow. When we're all asleep, we're really awake, and we're taking our little soul presences, and we're confabbing with our relatives and friends up there in these beyond the spatial reality, beyond the 3D. We're getting coached into our life, don't you see? And our sleeping hours, we're wide awake in that soul presence. See how backwards this world is? Just when you think you're conked out, that's when you're conked in, man. Only you don't always remember it now, do you? You might have little glimpses of it. You might think you had a little dream or something like that. You might remember elements of it that way. But I'm telling you, if you'll give it some time today, you'll start to remember those moments, okay? They'll just come bubbling up out inside of you, man. From out inside out, man. And they'll come right up from that center point in your chest. Little thoughts, sweet little thoughts, to remind you where you've been and who you've been with in your sleeping hours, okay? And that'll wake you up here on a trippin' Tuesday, I'd say, on the Everclear Hazy Radio Network there, with your old Grandpa Coyote, the grandfather of all you coyotes out there. You betcha, in human form and otherwise, baby. Yes, indeed. A coyote does what he pleases within a rangy relevance, okay? We always got our sniffer in the air and got the ears perked up. We know what's coming our way before it ever gets there. And we know how to respond to it, dear, don't we? See, that's what we're getting clear. There is rock, there is roll. There's coyote medicine in our heart and soul, which means, well, the backwards world is our ultimate joke. By going backwards, we realize the true nature of going forward, going with the flow of life, and not fighting against it no more. You can only fight the current in the stream so long, and pretty soon you just get worn down by it, you know. You're an island in the middle. Island in the stream, guess what? That thing will wear you down, and one day you won't be found. There won't be no island anymore. Stream of life just dissolves you away, okay? You blend right back in and go begin again somewhere else as that little molecule of molecular structure that you are, man. And taking form in another form. You know, we do this all the time in every way as we pass in and out of time, okay? Well, our sleeping hours are passing out of time too. Passing out in this reality and going beyond the time and living where we are divine. And all things with us too. It's not just us. It's everything. It's all divine. Okay? Okay? So if you want to be there, just allow yourself to flow there. Be there. Just allow it to be. And there you are, don't you see? Wherever you need to be, that's where you are. Hey, and after a while, that might even lead to something called teleportation, which is one of our little gifts when you start to move outside of time, see? That's why you got all this stuff called E.T. hanging around and all these rumors and innuendos and conspiracy theories and so forth, because it's time to see beyond the concepts of time, to understand it's something we created before, so we could sleep, so we could snore. We didn't know what that felt like. We didn't know any of it. Now we know all of it. Now we can embrace the heart we didn't chase and say, okay, heart, it's your turn. Now, let's get it on. Let's make it burn. Let's bring it down and bring it around all at the same time, okay? That is to transform it right inside of ourselves, you know? And it starts with, well, yeah, a little sympathy for the devil inside. But at the same time, you don't take the devilish ride. You just embrace the energy that it is as a part of your life. And there's a gift you give. It's called solidarity. It's called coming together, trying to be who you really are. And you won't know that until you're completely reattached to that feels separate inside, okay? That's the magic little ride of life. That's the whole learning lesson right there. We get that? Well, babies, then we are right there where you can truthfully show that you care, and babies, when you know you're an infinite, radiant, powerful being made of light and star stuff, and petty shit don't bother you no more, well, you're the happy little lamp sucking on a straw and just saying, ooh, this is better than being Santa Claus, okay? Because I finally found the way. Yeah, baby. Right there inside your soft, sweet little hide. Just allow it, okay? That's what our pal Val say. So all of you tuned in today, thanks for being here and helping this old man get it clear. Along with yourself, dear. You know, we're in it together. Somebody gets it, everybody's got it. It's just a matter of time, right? Well, something like that. It's a matter of seeing beyond the illusion of time, distance, speed, you know, all that kind of stuff. Now that takes a lot, doesn't it? But no, it don't. You just be who you are naturally, and this is how we set ourselves free of the constrictions of time and the need to be there on time or any other time or whatever it might be. Time. Just let it unwind. Let yourself see beyond that reality. Understand the gathered nature of life. See what's inside. Explore there and you'll find the outside replicated all around you from the inside.